Ordering decimals. To order numbers and to order decimals, we need to understand place value. This number right here is 1,200. It's a whole number, and you're probably familiar with comparing whole numbers and putting them in order. But as a review, let's review the place value of this whole number. We have the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place, and the thousands place. Now you don't see it on this whole number, but all whole numbers have a decimal at the end. The reason why we don't write it is because that decimal for a whole number is 0. It has no fractional part. All whole numbers have a decimal on the end. Now let's look at this number right here. It is still 1,200. That's the whole part. And then we have a decimal, and then we have a fractional part. And the first digit after the decimal is always called tenths, or out of 10. So we have 2 parts out of 10. The next decimal place is always called hundredths. And finally, the last one, the third decimal place, is always called thousandths. Now, place value is helpful in determining which numbers are larger than others. Just like the thousands place is bigger than the hundreds place because it's on the left of it, the same thing goes with decimals. The tenths place is larger than the hundredths place, and the hundredths place is larger than the thousandths place. Put the following decimals in order: 7 1/4, 4 6/10, 6 5/10, 6 whole, 7 2/10, 5 1/2, and 8 3/4. You could also say 8 75 hundredths. That's the other reason we need to know the place values, because the decimal is given a name according to the last decimal place. When we compare these numbers, we always look at the whole number part first. So the whole number part on this one is 7 whole, 4 whole, 6 whole, 6 whole, 7 whole, 5 whole, and 8 whole. So the smallest number here is 4 6/10. Then the next one is 5 5/10. Then we have 6 6 1/2. Well, 6 is smaller than 6 1/2, so 6 is next. Now maybe where it gets tricky for some people, we have 7 25 hundredths, and we've got 7 2/10. If we're going to compare these two, 7.25, it might make it easier to go 7.2 and add a 0 on the end because it has no hundredths. And now, because they have the same number of decimal places, it should be easier to see which one's larger. This is 7 whole and 25 hundredths. This one is 7 whole and 20 hundredths, meaning that this one is larger. Finally, we got one left. That's this one, 8 3/4. Place the following numbers on the number line. Again, let's start by looking at the whole number. We've got 4 whole and 25 hundredths. 4 whole and 25 out of 100. 25 out of 100 is simplified to a quarter, so we have 4 1/4. So I find 4, that's the whole number right here, and then I can cut this into 4 equal pieces, and I only want one of them. So 4.25, or 4 1/4, is right here. The next number, 3 whole, is very easy. That's just going to be right on the 3. 2.5, that is 2 5 out of, the place value of the 5 is 10, or tenths. So 2 5 out of 10, and 5 out of 10 simplifies to 2 and a half. So we go to 2, cut it into 2 parts. We want one of them. So right here is 2 and a half. Now we have 3 7/10. So 3 whole, we find the 3 whole, and then we cut it into 10 equal pieces. So we got 3 whole, that's right here, and then we go over 7/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Finally, we have 2 4/10. 2 4/10 simplified is the same as 2 2/5. So I go to the whole number 2, cut this into 5 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go over 2 of those. So 2 whole and 2/5.